have Tunisia, we have Egypt, Sudan, and we have Nigeria, and then we also have Kenya. So we are pleased to be among one of those locations that are actually holding this event. So the Global Fabric Community is a volunteer-led group. So it was started mainly by a group in Toronto. So and they coordinate this event globally. And so it is not officially run by Microsoft, but through Microsoft's corporate VP of Fabric and Power BI, Kim Manis. So she champions this initiative, and she's the one who is the champion and the founder of this Global Fabric Day. And so worldwide, this is the second edition of the Global Fabric Day. But here for us in Kenya, we are having this as our first Global Fabric Day. So we are pleased to have each and every one of you here with us today. And so just to get into the agenda of our event, so first things first, we are going to welcome you into the community, and then we are going to introduce a bit about our community, and then we are going to listen to a very interesting keynote session from the Global Fabric Day. So we are going to learn about what is new in Microsoft Fabric, what is the future of Microsoft Fabric, and where is the entire Microsoft Fabric ecosystem heading to. After that, we are going to have a very interesting community engagement, and it's going to be very competitive. So I'll say take your time and make sure you note what is happening keenly, because when we get to that point, it's really competitive, and we must have a winner. So make sure you are that winner. After we have had our engagement, we are going to have a practical discussion on Fabric, Power BI, and modern analytics. And so for this one, we are actually going to go through an actual use case. So we understand that some of us may have built products, or may have built solutions with Microsoft Fabric. Some of us may not have built those solutions, and they just want to understand when we say Microsoft Fabric, what can we build with it? How can we use the skills that we have to actually be able to build an actual real world product? So we are going to take you through one of those products. You see what we have been able to build, and then we hope that that will be able to inspire you to also go and try out something on your end. And then we are also going to give out a few exam vouchers. So by you getting to attend here today, courtesy of the Global Fabric community, we will be able to provide some of those vouchers so that you may be able to take those certifications pertaining Microsoft Fabric, and we'll be speaking in detail about the specific certifications, which certifications fits you and why. So we'll be talking about those later on in the event. And then finally, we'll be just talking about the next steps, our future sessions, and everything to do with now the future of us here as the Kenya Microsoft community. What are we looking into? What is our vision for the future? And so, yeah, welcome to this event. And so just to speak a bit about the Kenya Microsoft Fabric community. And so today, as a community, we have decided that our main agenda, or our main theme for this Global Fabric Day here as a Kenyan community, is that we want to learn, to connect, and to build with Microsoft Fabric. So so we are here as a community so that we can be able to learn together, we can be able to connect with each other, and then we can be able to build with Microsoft Fabric. A brief introduction into the Kenya Microsoft Fabric community is that this community here was founded sometime last year, and so what it essentially is that it's a space for Microsoft Fabric enthusiasts, professionals, and learners across Kenya to connect, share, and grow together. So it does not matter where you are just starting your Fabric journey, whether you're already building data solutions. We are here to exchange those ideas that you have, those best practices that you have, and then with that we can be able to showcase local projects. So we will be we are mainly focused on highlighting learning opportunities and to help Kenya data professionals to support one another. So we have a very simple vision here that we want to build a vibrant network where every member gets the best out of Microsoft Fabric. And if you look onto the top left of my screen, you can see that we are about connecting Kenya's data mines through Microsoft Fabric. And so just a brief of, so our community is here to number one, share ideas and best practices, exchange knowledge and resources, showcase local projects and success stories, highlight opportunities, events and learning sessions, and then we want to connect all these Kenyan professionals and help each other grow. And you might be asking yourself, this is a community, of course, there have to be people that are behind the community. So on this next slide, I'm going to introduce you to the community leads. And I'll start with myself. My name is Sami Chesire. I work as a data engineer, and I've been mainly working on Microsoft Fabric. So I had to select one of those photos where I can brag a little that I run sometimes, and so you can see my medal right there. So that's part of what I do outside normal working days. And also with me today is Martin Wambui, who is also a data engineer, and he has also worked very deeply, and he understands the entire Microsoft Fabric system very well. So I'll introduce him to introduce himself, and then we can proceed on from there. Welcome, Martin.
Thank you, Sammy. For me, I don't know what I'm going to brag with. Yeah,
Mm.
we've already set the pace so high. So my name is Martin Womboy, and I'm excited to be here with you. I'm actually very happy to see every one of you. And as we interact today, we shall learn a lot together. And before my session comes along, I have one question, and when I come, I need you to have to think about it, and you'll give me the answers when I come. And my question is, what do you think we are solving by all these technologies? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Martin. So this is the team that has majorly been working on the background to make sure that the community is vibrant. And of course, as we grow, we are looking forward to having more of members from the community be able to participate or contribute in one way or another to the community event. So that's part of what we will be speaking of at the end of of our event today. So so now let's get to business. And as we have talked about is that today session we are going to majorly look into a global look at where Microsoft Fabric is headed, and we want just to set the stage with that because we want to look at as we look into exploring Microsoft Fabric, what does it hold for the future of us as professionals, and what do we need to learn and upskill. So today we will be having a keynote session, and I'll be sharing that here in a few. So I'd want you to be very keen to listen in. Make sure you take a few notes here and there because, as I told you, we will be having a very competitive session where, yeah, some of these questions from the keynote session will come. And so, yeah, the keynote session is from Kim Manis, and as I mentioned, she's the corporate vice president at Microsoft for Microsoft and Power BI, and she's the champion of the Global Fabric Day. So I'll stop sharing here, and then I'll reshare my screen back with the keynote session. So be sure to listen in, and then we'll be back after the session to continue with the other agendas that we have for the day. Yeah, so we are going to have this keynote session for the next close to 30 minutes, and then we will be back to continue. So welcome.
Vice President of Product for the Microsoft Fabric platform. Many of you have been with us since the beginning of Fabric. Over 2 years ago, we built Microsoft Fabric, and we brought together all of these different products from across databases, data integration, analytics, real-time intelligence, BI with Power BI, bringing all these disparate tools together into one unified platform, making it easier for you to simplify, unify your data estates, and get to the business of getting insights and leveraging your data with AI. And the momentum shows. The momentum shows in the numbers. We've got over 35,000 Fabric customers, with 90% of the Fortune 500 using Fabric. If you want to check out some of our amazing customer stories and examples of customers using Fabric, you can check out AKA MS Fabric Featured Customers. So I want to spend this time really talking about what's next. What's the future for Fabric? What's the world going to look like for all of us data folk as AI continues to evolve? And you know, this is a number quoted from some of these analysts that are saying over 1 billion agents are going to enter the workforce by 2028. And they're going to sit side by side with us, working with us. And the question is, how do you make your agents as trusted and productive as your best employees? And the answer is really, you empower those agents with the same knowledge and context that you would your employees. So think about when you hire a new employee on the team, what do they need to know? What do you need to tell them? They join the team and you tell them who their boss is and what team they're on, what their org chart looks like. Here's the meetings you need to attend. Here's how decisions get made. You give them the curated knowledge of your organization. Here's canonical documents about how we work. Here's the employee handbook. Here's the instruction manual for the machinery you're going to use. And then you also tell them your OKRs, your goals for the business, the key metrics you're tracking. You give them access to the dashboards they need, the numbers they need, so that they can understand, are we going in the right direction? And all of those same concepts need to be given to agents. And that's really where Microsoft IQ comes in. Microsoft IQ is the layer of context across all of these areas, whether it's how your employees work, leveraging Work IQ in Microsoft 365, Foundry IQ, those curated knowledge bases end to end, and of course Fabric IQ, which shows you the state of your business and what the data says. So these all come together to empower not just our employees, but our agents. And it takes, a regular old LLM that knows a lot about the internet to knowing a lot about your business and how you work. So today we're going to spend a lot of time on our newest workload, which is that IQ workload in Microsoft Fabric. And I'm going to go end to end and show you how to implement IQ, what are the layers that you need to do to unlock AI on top of your data estate. So let's take a look. Okay, now we're going to go through the Fabric IQ framework from bottom to top and show you how you can adopt Fabric IQ end to end and empower those AI agents. It all starts with unifying the data estate. And this is where OneLake comes in. We like to call OneLake the OneDrive for data because we aim to make it as easy to share data as it is to share files in OneDrive. And not only for data that physically lives in OneDrive, you can also get data that lives elsewhere and virtually connected to OneDrive through shortcuts and mirroring. So whether your data lives in Azure or in AWS or in Google's cloud or on-premise or in a SaaS service somewhere, you can connect all the data and bring it together either physically or virtually. What this allows is for OneLake to truly unify the world's data and make it accessible for AI. And we're continuing to evolve this, and you'll see at Build we announced a number of new shortcut and mirroring options, including GA for SAP DataSphere, SharePoint and OneDrive, and Oracle DB. Okay, so that's step one. You unify the data. The next step is you need to process and harmonize the data and structure it in a way that makes sense. And this is where Fabric's engines really make it possible. This is where data warehousing comes in, data engineering, real-time processing. So let's dig into some of our announcements from Build around analytics. One that I'm super excited about is GPU-powered query acceleration. This is a major performance improvement, not a minor optimization. Tons of customers are using Fabric Data Warehouse. One great example is UNC Health. They saw up to 5x performance improvements. And so how does this work? How does GPU query acceleration work? Basically, you flip a switch and you see improvements. Now the cool thing is For a single user, immediately you start to see eight times faster improvements on your queries. But the amazing thing here is as you get more users, as you increase the load and the concurrency, you see more and more improvements, up to 107 times faster. This is amazing because instead of degrading as your load increases, the performance is actually improving. So let's take a look at a demo to see how simple it is to take advantage of GPU query acceleration.
I'm a developer building an application on top of Fabric Data Warehouse, and I want to make sure my users get insights instantly, whether they're viewing dashboards or asking questions of an analytics agent. Here we are in Fabric DW. I'm going to go ahead and run a couple of ad hoc queries. At the bottom, I can quickly tell that there's a brand new option called Query Acceleration. It tells me that it's off, but I can navigate to Workspace Settings and under Data Warehousing, find the Query Acceleration option and turn it on. And once it's on, it's applied to every SQL endpoint and every data warehouse in this workspace. Using it is simple. I just hit run and I can see that my query is being accelerated. Monitoring gives me visibility into what was accelerated and what was not. From this brand new column, I can quickly tell that several queries have already been accelerated. Frequently run queries gives me even more visibility with a count of the total accelerated runs for a particular query. And when I return to the query editor and click on query acceleration, I'm given a bird's eye view of the value this capability is adding for my particular data warehouse. Roughly 89% of the queries were accelerated, which is huge. We're super excited to get this GPU-powered data warehouse into your hands and accelerate insights faster than ever before.
Another really cool thing we showed at Build is agent skills for Fabric. These are first-party skills we publish for you to be able to pivot completely to agent-driven development in Fabric. This removes all the need for manual clicky, draggy, droppy to just asking the agent for what you want. So let's just take a look at how you can build an entire end-to-end ingestion layer with just a prompt.
These days, organizations are moving from manual data preparation to an agent-driven approach. So we're going to use Fabric's brand new Agent Skills repo to essentially provision an entire customer data pipeline from start to finish. Agent skills accommodate a range of Fabric capabilities. I have skills for several workloads, from real-time intelligence to data warehouse to data engineering. And using them, I can set up an entire medallion architecture from scratch. Let's take a look. I'm starting in the CLI with GitHub Copilot and one simple mission. Build me out an ingestion engine, clean my ticket data, and prep me a silver layer. With just one prompt, look at us go. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see my Fabric workspace, which is being populated with a Lakehouse artifact based on that prompt. After that, we'll see a notebook being provisioned as well, with all of the configuration and best practices applied for data engineering thanks to Fabric agent skills. The skills are facilitating this for me based on my prompt, and when Copilot is finished, I can get a summary on the left-hand side of the screen of everything that's been done for me, with all the best practices applied. From there, I can move into Fabric to see my solution in action. In my Lakehouse, we can see the silver table that was created for me via CLI. I have all my ticket data ingested in Fabric, and it's been categorized thanks to an agent-driven approach. We can go on to the latest and greatest in Fabric Analytics for further analysis. We're using the most up-to-date runtime, which includes Spark 4.0 and Delta 4.0. And we can run or schedule our notebooks with support for custom live pools. This capability takes the long pool startup times that many customers used to experience when loading in libraries and network security settings from 3 to 5 minutes down to anywhere between 3 to 5 seconds. I'm creating a schedule for these pools here. Basically, I'm saying at a certain time every morning, I want my custom live pool to be pre-warmed with all my configurations so we don't have to wait for those long startup times when I attach compute to my notebooks. Then, I can go ahead and publish the bronze to silver cleaning notebook that was created for me via CLI. I'm hooking up to my compute, and when I start up the session, check this out. We're going to be live in just 5 seconds. Moving to my SQL Analytics endpoint, I can analyze ticket data further using AI functions. Whether you're in a notebook or a data warehouse, working with PySpark or T-SQL, as I am here, these functions bring LLMs into Fabric with no configuration. Drilling into my ticket data, I can use AI functions to categorize it, assign sentiment labels to tickets, or classify those tickets according to custom categories. For instance, whether they're billing related, product related, or something else entirely. Fabric Data Warehouse also integrates with Activator for real-time alerting. I can create a query that will be used to trigger actions anytime data that's associated with a product quality issue, about strange noises for instance, lands in my platform. In these cases, what I want is a trigger to fire so that one of my colleagues can be notified through Teams that there's a new ticket with negative customer sentiment. Using the interface here, I can configure the columns that I'd like the rule to read and then create it. With agent skills for Fabric Analytics, we've gone from prompt engineering to operational intelligence to real-time alerting in minutes.
All right, now we're done processing and harmonizing the data. The next step is to curate semantic knowledge. I always like to say, even if you brought a data expert who knew all the tools into your system and gave them access to all the data, and you asked them, hey, tell me the top 10 customers by revenue for the last year. The person would then say to you, fiscal year or calendar year, which customer column should I use? How do you calculate revenue? All of this business context needs to be given to the LLMs to operate appropriately. And that's really where this curation of semantic knowledge comes in. And this is where the heart of IQ really lives. And it starts with that unified data, bringing together all your data in one lake so that AI has access to the data and can ground itself in your organizational data. The next layer is really built on Power BI's semantic models. And the amazing thing is, we've got over 20 million semantic models out there active running. These semantic models were the ones that were used to build all those Power BI reports in your organization. But the amazing thing about those semantic models is they also contain amazing context. They contain the relationships between tables, the descriptions and titles, the calculations, the measures, calculated columns, all of this context which is needed for AI to operate on the correct semantics. And so, you have these Power BI semantic models, but we can take it a step further. And that's where ontologies come in. And this takes it from business intelligence to operational intelligence. What happened to what's happening right now? Ontologies model the business itself. It's basically a digital twin of your business. All the entities, relationships, actions, policies, all of this gives AI a richer understanding of how the business works and what actions to take. So let's use a real life example. A retail company, let's say, who has a store and maybe a bunch of warehouses and shipping processes, and there are a ton of entities across these, right? Market segments, the stores, the inventory, the shipments, the suppliers, and all of these have relationships, right? They depend on one another, they relate to one another, and then if you dig into any one of these entities, they all have a set of properties, some of which are, standard, some of which are IoT devices, some of which are flowing all the time in real time, and they all have actions you might take depending on the state of those properties. And so really, the ontology allows you to model all of this stuff along with the business objectives. And it's a great example here to think about, okay, your objectives are to make sure you manage risk and maintain compliance, that you're profitable, and that your customer satisfaction is high. But the fact that you can't be out of compliance, that is illegal and that comes first, that needs to be something that the LLM knows about. You need to put that in the system. So that's really where ontologies come in. And so OneLake really captures what happened, and our real-time capabilities and ontology, they capture what's happening right now in real time. But the question we get a lot is, where should you track what should happen? What are we aiming for? What are our goals? And that's really where planning in Fabric comes in, which is now generally available. This is the future-looking layer. It adds budgets, forecasts, scenarios, targets, all to the underlying data foundation in OneLake. So now you can reason not only over your current state, but also your intended future state. So let's take a look at a demo and see planning in Fabric in action.
Planning in Fabric makes it easy for teams to build out forecasts, budgets, and more directly from your workspace. I can create a new revenue plan with the same ease as any other artifact, and then instantly start working from data that lives in OneLake. If I want to build out a 2026 plan, I'll start with my 2025 data, which lives in a semantic model in the OneLake catalog. I can pull it in and look at those numbers, which break down in the canvas both by product category on the left and by quarterly revenue up top. In this scenario, I'm a sales lead at a beverage company, and I'm trying to build out 2026 numbers based on those 2025 numbers. So I can make copies, hide the 2025 data, and start playing around in this interface with what I hope for the year ahead. This view makes it easy to have confidence in estimates that we apply to categories. If we assign a growth rate to one category, we know it's going to trickle down through the underlying brands, it's going to get distributed proportionally across different quarters, and it's going to roll up to the overall plan figure at the top left. This way, everything stays in sync. It's interactive, the numbers are connected, and we have confidence as we start gaming out hypotheticals about what the year will look like. When we're happy with certain numbers, we can lock them in place. Then, changes that we make to the overall figure get distributed only to open categories, not to categories that we've locked already. We can always tag in team members for review and continue working with the rest of our colleagues. When you build out a financial plan, it's sensible to have different scenarios in your back pocket. A best case, a worst case, and so forth. This interface also makes that process simple. I can toggle between a best case scenario and the base case that we've previously defined. Sliders in the interface make it simple to play with numbers and capture changes with respect to the base case. Just a few clicks and it's all locked and captured. I can always switch from this tabular view into a tree-based view that makes everything even more explicit and visually friendly. How the numbers break down from top to bottom, but also how they add up from bottom to top. I get a lot of customization and collaboration with this experience, the same way I do with other Fabric capabilities. So in the interface, I can add my own columns to the plan. I can customize rules and security preferences that govern things like who can comment, who can add data, who can build in scenarios, and on and on. And there's also a handy auditing view built in, so I know who has touched what and when. This is crucial when you're dealing with sensitive financials and you need to make sure nothing strange is going on. When I'm done with my plan, I have write-back capabilities built in, so I can connect to a Fabric SQL database. We started with the semantic model, and we're ending with the SQL table. This is all integrated with OneLake. There's no gap between the planning software and the data. It lives in one place, and we now have a table corresponding to the plan we've just built. In Fabric, this plan can also be worked into our ontology. That way, the model of the business operations takes into account not just analytics data from the past and streaming signals from the present, but also a sense of where we're going. Planning in Fabric captures that future-looking angle for every employee and every agent.
Okay, we're at the last step, empowering AI agents. I'm super excited about the announcements from Build on this one. This one might be my favorite feature that we announced lately, and it's called Apps in Fabric. This is the next step for agentic application building. Here you can host production-grade apps on governed data from Fabric with completely managed backend services, not just analytics artifacts. So rather than me telling you all about it, let's just get right into the demo.
The Rayfin SDK makes it easy to build out enterprise-ready apps in Fabric in just a few minutes. Agentic development from the IDE, which you see here, is increasingly common, but there still tends to be a bottleneck, the backend. Setting up a database or wiring up auth is where vibe coding projects stall, and where Rayfin comes in. What you're seeing here is the result of a single command from the Rayfin CLI. I've picked a blank app template and given it a name, and now Rayfin is setting up the whole project for me. Behind the scenes, Fabric will provision the foundational resources, from a dedicated app artifact to a linked SQL database to a static hosting URL. The app will be live in seconds, with my entire backend set up and scaffolded. Then I can turn to GitHub Copilot to build out the interface of my dreams. I'll describe what I want in natural language, a delivery app with certain custom parameters, and Copilot will generate the data schema, the UI components, the pages, and the flows, all for me, wired up in code I can inspect and edit. The result is a fully functional delivery app in Fabric, which I'm seeing here. Drivers can log deliveries with photos, and customers can review orders on tablets and sign to confirm receipt. The whole exchange is captured end to end. And because Fabric provides the backend, there's no separation between the app I just built and the enterprise platform where operational data lands. In my governed workspace, I can see that app artifact alongside its linked Fabric SQL database. Here's the data from that transaction starting to flow straight in. And in the OneLake catalog, my new app sits right alongside every other governed asset across the business. Instead of a proof of concept or a prototype, I get an enterprise-ready app built in minutes, something my team can use on day one, thanks to Rayfin and apps in Fabric.
It's awesome how easy it is to build applications in Fabric. And now take those applications and combine them with the power of semantic models, with all of that trusted context that you've built out in your business through your use of Power BI. Now imagine you can combine the context from your Power BI reports with these powerful applications you can now build in Fabric. Now you can support both operational applications and analytical applications side by side on the same governed foundation. This is going to unlock a whole new way of building BI applications. Let's take a look.
Thanks to the Rayfin SDK, my team just built a delivery app that lands real operational data in a Fabric SQL database, records of every drop-off and every customer signature. That transaction data ends up in the same workspace as the analytical data my team uses to run the business, including a semantic model I want to put to work. In addition to Power BI reports, I can now build custom data apps using the same Rayfin SDK that sped up my delivery app development. I'm getting started with a new app item directly in Fabric. I'll give my data app a name, and then I can choose a specific template for analysis and visualization. The app shell lays out all the next steps, including a setup prompt I can hand straight to GitHub Copilot. In VS Code, Copilot uses the Rayfin SDK to scaffold my project, wiring up auth and connecting to the assets in our governed Fabric workspace. The agent can also reach for a Power BI skill that lets it generate interactive visuals directly against my semantic models, without rebuilding the foundation my analytics team maintains. With that scaffolding ready, I can get more specific. I want to connect our customer satisfaction semantic model to the new delivery data, creating an exec view with monthly CSAT trends, a regional breakdown, and a delivery impact correlation. Copilot generates the visuals, the data joins, and more. Everything gets wired in, ready to render against live data. And when that's done, I get a live link of what's been pushed to Fabric. Back in my workspace, here's the result. An interactive dashboard pulling from both my new delivery data and the existing semantic model. It's all here. Current CSAT, on-time delivery, complaint rate, that's the full arc of what the Rayfin SDK unlocks. Operational and analytical apps in Fabric, built side by side, on the same governed foundation my team trusts.
Last, but certainly not least, I wanted to talk about Operations Agent. These are always on virtual teammates, not reactive chatbots. They can monitor signals and continuously work in teams side by side with you and take actions on your behalf. This is amazing because it takes advantage of all the ontology context that you've built out. So let's take a look at Operations Agents in action.
In Fabric, creating a new operations agent takes just a few steps, as with any other item. Here, I'm setting up an agent to monitor customer churn. I want it to watch my marketing signals 24/7 and help me retain customers over time. The setup experience opens immediately, and we can see what's happening on two sides of the screen. On the left, I'll provide inputs to define the agent, and on the right, the agent's playbook will take shape in real time as I go. I start by defining some goals, as I would while onboarding any new team member. In plain natural language, I'm telling this agent to help retain customers and reduce churn for the business. From there, I can add more explicit instructions, explaining what churn actually means and outlining the kinds of actions the agent should consider taking when it identifies a customer at risk. All of this is easy to provide conversationally, in natural language. But the real power comes in when I connect the agent to my operations ontology. I can select that ontology with a few clicks, and immediately the agent gets access to a common semantic context layer across the business. It can inherit existing actions, or I can define custom actions. Here, I'm going to add a new action that sends promotional codes to customers at risk of churning. I'll provide a couple parameters, the customer ID, the discount amount, and just like that, I've armed the agent with a new tool to reach for when it identifies a possible churn risk. So on the left-hand side of the screen, I now should have everything I need wired up. Goals, instructions, knowledge, actions. I'll save my work and generate the agent's playbook. This playbook represents the agent's working understanding of the business, of the system, and of the data. And most important, it shows what the agent is actually going to do with all that context. With the playbook generated, we can see on the right-hand side of the screen that the agent is surfacing business terms it's picked up along the way, like customer activity, and the different properties associated with those terms. The playbook lays out the rules clearly. These are the conditions the agent is watching for, and the actions the agent can take when the conditions are met. Things look good to start, so I'll put the agent to work. You can think of the agent as a virtual colleague. It's running in our working channels alongside the rest of the operations team. Switching over to Teams, I see that the agent is already at work. As soon as it spots an issue, it posts a message to the channel, and I can pull up all the context using Show Details. Here I see the underlying data points the agent considered in identifying churn, including the fact that in this case the triggering event was an add to cart action. Now, that's not really a strong indicator of churn on its own, so I can head back to the agent configuration and tweak the instructions. I'm helping the agent learn more about our business and our context so that going forward it can perform better. A bit later, back in Teams, the agent has alerted us to a new opportunity based on my evolving instructions. This time, the trigger is an abandoned cart, which is a much more reasonable signal for sending out a promo code. The agent shows me the action it wants to take, it lays out the relevant properties, and with a click, I can confirm. Just like that, I've not only created the agent and gotten it running, I've also watched the agent learn to identify a real opportunity and take action on my behalf, so that it can operate more autonomously at scale in the future. Everyone loves a promo code, and we can see how the agent helped close the loop for a particular customer here, streamlining our business operations on behalf of the team.
Okay, that was a whirlwind tour of the Fabric IQ framework. We went from bottom to top all the way to empowering AI agents. And I'll wrap up by restating really the full journey here, right? We brought together all of this context, not just for humans, but for agents, to get that shared foundation to operate off of the context of your business. And the awesome thing here is this can be reused over and over again with the many agents you're building. And there's a lot going on in Fabric and there's a lot to learn. I'm super excited you're here today with us on the Global Fabric Day. And I wanted to highlight a couple key resources for you. The first is Fabric Jumpstart. This is a great way for you to accelerate your Fabric journey by getting a quick one-click install library of samples. So definitely try this one out. I also wanted to highlight Data Days, 60 days of data and AI trainings, June 15th to August 7th. A ton of totally free resources. You can connect with the community, you can learn from one another. So check out AKMS Data Days. Also, get your Fabric or SQL certifications for free just for being an attendee of Global Fabric Day and Data Days. Here are all the instructions to go get your free certification. Definitely check it out. This is the #1 resource I recommend getting certified if you want to go all in on Fabric. This is a great resource you can use today's sessions as well as Data Days to learn and get ready for your certification. Thank you so much and have a great time on Global Fabric Day. Hello, everybody. I'm super.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope we've been able to see the keynote session and what the future holds for Microsoft Fabric. And we've seen briefly how there are new things coming in Fabric, and they are actually very interesting. We even knew that there is a day you are going to develop an entire website application with the Fabric as your backend. So that's some of the interesting things that we have seen from the global keynote speech for 2026, and we are looking forward to actually you being able to put these things into practice in your day-to-day workflows. So before we proceed, I'd like to make this a little bit interesting. And for a chance to get lunch for today, I just want one person to raise up their hand and tell us, in summary, what they have picked from today's keynote session. Okay, Frederick. So Frederick can go ahead. He was the first one. Yeah, Frederick, you can go ahead and mute and then tell us. Don't let your mic make you miss lunch. Okay, I see you unmuted, so you can let us know. Uh, Too bad for you, Frederick. I think the next person was Nelson. So yeah, Nelson, you can unmute and tell us. Yeah, Nelson, you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, so what I've learned from the keynote speech is that Fabric is a unified data platform that can handle data engineering, analytics engineering, and also business intelligence of BI, in the context of Power BI. And also you can like there's AI built inside Fabric, agentic AI. So you can use these agents to help you with your workflows, connect across teams, work with data, do analytics, and it can be applied in different areas of the Fabric ecosystem. So it makes it easier for, let's say, an organization to handle their data, the whole data ecosystem. Instead of using multiple tools from different industries, you can have all these in one unified platform, which makes it easier even to orchestrate agents based on the company's data. Yes.
That's been very interesting. Seems like you are very keen in class. So let's go there and react with the claps for Nelson. That was good stuff, and you have actually summarized it well. I think one of the major key things there is like AI is now coming into Microsoft Fabric, so you have actually put it correctly. So you can go and just send me your number via my message in Teams. Yeah, and lunch will be coming your way in the next few minutes. Yeah, so that has been the keynote session, and we are now moving on to another very um, interesting piece of our event here today, and it's also another chance for you to get lunch. And this is a bit more competitive. And just to be fair, we are not going to have you mute or unmute your mic. We're just going to have you answer a few questions here, and then the winner goes home with the lunch again. So let me share my other screen in a few, and then we continue from there. So if you can see my screen there, so it's time for us to play a very simple game, and so let's warm up. So you can go to Kahoot it, www.kahoot.it. Make sure you join with the game pin. be creative with your name, and then we can start. So before we start, a few rules of the game. Number one, you have to get all the answers correct. And then number two, it is very important that you answer as fast as you can, because the faster you answer, the higher chances of getting more points. So yeah, make sure you answer as fast as you can, and of course, make sure you get the correct answers. So be creative with those names. I'm waiting to see you there. So yeah, let's join in.
I'm the drum roll person.
Yeah, let's all join in. I want to see. So we have Willie, Martin. We have Wambugu. I don't know if these were Wambugu the apples. We have Sheiks, the AI person. Okay, KMZ, Wentworth, Data Dev, Nelman, Pizzo. Yeah, let's join. Let's giving ourselves a few more minutes. We have Fred. This must be Fred. We have Brave. Uh, somebody's here from Mass. Okay. Yeah, we want to see how competitive you guys are. So 1 more minute. So if you have not joined, take a moment. You have Major. Okay. Hakuna mtu anajiita Messi. Yeah, so I think we have a good number. So yeah, so are we all ready? By sign of thumbs up, let me know if you are ready to begin. Thumbs up. Okay, nice one. I see we are all ready. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Three, two, one. So what is Fabric IQ? Is it a Power BI chart type? Is it a shared semantic foundation? Is it an IQ test for data analysts, or it's an exam? Yeah, so watch the counter, watch the time. Okay, make sure you answer before 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so the correct answer there is it's a shared semantic foundation that grounds AI agents in your business data. Yeah, good thing. Majority of us got the answer right. So let's see who are the fastest. Okay, we have Wambugu at the very top of our leaderboard today. Data Dev coming in second, and we have Martin coming in third. So let's see if they will keep up with the leaderboard. So Pizzo and Nelman, honorable mentions on the leaderboard. Ready for the next question? 3, 2, 1, let's go. So which of these is not a real IQ product that Microsoft has just announced? Let's get those answers coming in. Hii ni ngumu. So in three, two, one. Yeah, so it's not power IQ. So hapa sasa ndio ile normal distribution imeanza, majibu zimerushwa kila mahali. So let's see who have maintained on the leaderboard. So we have data dev now coming in at the very top. Kudos to you. Nelman and Pizzo, who are honorable mentions, are now on the leaderboard. Wambugu has decided to eat the apples in peace, and we have the AI person coming in. So kudos, kudos. Let's go to the next question in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. What new build 2026 tool lets developers to build backend apps directly on Microsoft Fabric using natural language or code? So is it Power Apps? Is it Rayfin? Is it Copilot Studio? Or is it Azure Functions? Yeah, the correct answer is Rayfin. So if you wrote Power Apps, Copilot Studio, the Azure Functions, so the correct answer is Rayfin. And it's actually a very interesting tool. When you get time, go check out Rayfin and see how you can actually be able to build your apps using Rayfin. So let's see the leaderboard, how it stands. Okay, data dev is really doing the work up there. The AI person is coming up really well, so it's now second place. We have Martin back. Nelman, what happened? Then we have Vic. No, we have the highest climber here, KMZ. That's the honorable mention. Yeah. So good stuff. Let's continue. So now, since we know Rayfin, so where does app data from Rayfin land when you're using Fabric? So does it land on a separate SQL server? Does it land on one leg? Is it on your local hard drive, or is it on a USB stick? Yeah, the correct answer is one leg, and yeah, hiyo nayo mmejua. So let's see, was the fastest there. Aha, interesting. Data dev bado wako pale juu. We have Martin coming in second. The AI person, we have an honorable mention there. Willie has been able to climb 3 places. That's good job. Now to the next question. This should be easy. So who is the founder of the Global Fabric Day? Is it Bill Gates? I think it's Bill Gates. Satya Nadella, Kim Manis, or Elon Musk? Yeah, the correct answer is Kim Manis. If you are Kenyan enough, that's Kimani with an S. Yeah, so let's see how the leaderboard does now. So we have data dev still maintaining their position. Na ni kama huyo anaibia. We must see if they have a Kenya somewhere. Martin coming in second. We have the AI person, Nelman coming in fourth. And then Diffre, who I strongly know it's Fred. So yeah, that's good. Let's continue. How much faster did Microsoft say the new GPU accelerated fabric data warehouses can run? So is it 2 times, 7 times, 15 times, or 100 times? au wenye mmejibu mna guess? Hmm. Yeah, let's see. You guys were keen. Yeah, the correct answer is 7 times. So naona watu wa pikipiki pongi walikuwa equal to 2. So yeah, let's see. Okay, interesting. We still have data dev leading at the very top. We have Martin coming in second, the I person coming in third. Nelman hawakupea hata nafasi uingie top 3. And then we have Pizzo finishing up our top 5. Okay. A few more questions before we wrap this up. So what does OneLake do in Microsoft Fabric? So does it connect to your email? Does it act as a single unified data lake? Does it power your Wi-Fi router? It must. Then does it replace Microsoft Teams? Yeah, that was very easy. So it acts as the single unified data lake for all your Fabric data. Let's see how the scoreboard looks now. Watu hapo je wataki kutoka, so I won't even mention them anymore. Nelman, jaribu kuharakisha kufinya hiyo answer kidogo, at least tuingia number 3 and then we have Pizzo finishing up our top 5. Let's go to our. So which year was the Kenya Microsoft Fabric community founded? Is it 2026, 2025, 2023, or 2024? Yeah, the correct answer is 2025. Kuna wale mmeanguka, ni sawa tu. Let's see if that changes things a bit. Unfortunately not. The scoreboard remains the same. So let's go to the next question. Which edition is this year's Global Fabric Day? Is it the first edition, the second, third, or the fourth? Data dev hiyo si uanguke tu. Yeah, so this is the second edition of the Global Fabric Day worldwide, but for us here, this is our first edition. So let's see how this works. Hapa kwa board wamekataa kusonga. Now to the final question. So Nelman, Pizzo, harakisheni kwa hiyo button kidogo tuone kama things will change. There we go. So when was Microsoft Fabric introduced? So was Microsoft Fabric introduced in 2021, 22, 23, or 24? Yeah, the correct answer is 2023. Yeah, hizo tuko na distributed answers. Let's see. Now to the podium. So number 3, the I person, let's clap for him there. Martin comes in second. And then the very first one there. Yeah, we have data dev. Good stuff. Yeah, and so we have Pizzo and Nelman as the runners up. So for all those podium positions, tumeni namba zenu kwa inbox yangu ya Teams, and then yeah, lunch will be coming through here in a few. Yeah, na unakuja na screenshot tujue. But yeah, if you've made it to the podium, yeah, send me your number via my chat, and then you'll be able to get lunch. Yeah, so that has been a very interesting encounter there. So yeah, thank you for participating. And now I want us to continue. Yes, Nelson.
No, no, nimefinya by mistake.
Yeah, okay. So I want us to continue with our engagement, and so what I want us to do right now is that I want to get us into breakout rooms, so that we just get to at least get to know someone from this session today. So I want to get us into breakout rooms. So when you get into that breakout room, I want you to choose one person who is going to sort of be like your group leader. And then I want you in that group to give yourself like either a minute each, for everybody to introduce themselves, what they do, and just get to know each other within your group. And then within your group, I want you to give yourself, if you are Matatu Circle, what name would you give your circle? So I want you to base your Matatu Circle name on fabric. So kama we ni like House Express, Dax Express, so Power BI Express, Carifin Express, around those names. So and then when we come back to the main session, your group leader will tell us the name of your Matatu Circle, and then one common thing about your group. Yeah, so let me create the breakout rooms here in a few. Yeah, so rooms. And so yeah, you'll get a prompt to get into those groups, and then we'll be back here after about 10 minutes. Uh, hello, 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 Pius, hello, John, hello, Privian. How are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing well.
Uh,
Hello, I'm good. Mtu maniaje?
Poa sana John.
yeah, so mi ni hapa watu wajuane, so group leader itakuwa nani? Pius ama John?
John.
Ah,
uh, okay, at least I know Pius. Uh, that's my friend.
Ah,
So so this is a breakout with 6 people. 5.
mm, yeah, we have 5 people here. So yeah,
Okay,
tunaweza
okay.
mhm.
So tunaweza to introduce, probably I'll go first. My name is John Chalo, alias Data Dev. Uh, I work with Power BI and Fabric uh, almost on a daily.
Mhm.
Then I was to choose a matatu sacco, probably something like Fabric Transit.
Mhm.
So this is like a matatu that is going long distance, place Kako, Stoma, Kisumu or something. Yeah, so Fabric Transit. Then I throw
Oh,
it to Mutoma.
all right. Hi everyone. So my name is Pius. Yeah, Pius now Mutuma then Kimathi. So most of my work I work in data. So mostly across the functions. The roles mostly as we know them, but mostly between data analysis and data engineering. I guess that is what forms analytics engineering. But yeah, so I've been working with Power BI since sometimes late 2022. Then Fabric came through. I started exploring it sometimes in I think early 2025. Yeah, on a personal level, but work mostly is Power BI. Yeah, yeah. It's a pleasure to be here and to meet all of you.
okay. Uh, next tutakuwa na Brivian. If you can hear us, Brivian. Kama hatuwezi sikia Brivian, I think nitajiintroduce. So my name is Sami, just as you have heard. So I'm a data engineer, working mostly on Microsoft Fabric and Power BI. So yeah, that's it all about me, and good to meet you guys here. If I believe we are all on LinkedIn, so maybe after the call tunaweza tafutana and then we connect, and then of course we continue building and sharing information. Back to you, John.
So both of you never mentioned a matatu sacco, yes.
No, we were actually to choose one name for all of
Oh, for
us.
all of us.
Yes.
My bad. Sorry. Windows Kuski instructions. Okay, then you can go ahead.
Yeah. So you have done the work for us.
So we go with the Fabric Transit.
Yeah, for sure. That works.
Okay. Then I guess
Uh,
there was something about the common thing about the group.
oh, yeah, yeah. I think I don't know. Apart from Fabric, what else do you guys do?
As a hobby, bro, or
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I also ran. I was on the Nairobi Marathon.
How many km?
21.
Nice one. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
John.
It's so tough. It's so tough. I'll start by saying the most I can run is 5.
Uh-huh.
So definitely not a thing, but I do it time to time, either running or just walking around 5 to
Uh-huh.
probably 10. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that can work for us. Yeah, Brivian, unaweza unmute tu salimia.
Okay, so hi everyone. Pole nilikuwa na some internet issue but nimesort. So I'm Vivian Jumba. I'm currently a student in Moi University. Staying in my final year. I'm a tech enthusiast. That's why like nimekuja in this space. Just want to know how it feels like huku nje mambo na tech and going just beyond. Yeah, so hope tutaconnect fiti.
Nice one. So, what do you do outside work and stuff and school?
Okay, so currently I think I'm exploring najaribu kuangalia things that I like to do in creating designs, that is visual art. I'm a graphic designer, something that I'm still actually exploring kama a side quest. Then aside from that, also nafanya other online studies, that is I've enrolled in another course. Najaribu kulearn software development. So if I'm not designing, I'm studying about software. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So, John, when ndio utapeleka mambo yetu huko mbele?
So on the common thing, do we stick then with running?
Yeah, Brivian
Or at
atatusomea.
least, okay.
So, yeah, so see you on the other side.
Okay.
To see everyone back here. So I hope we are all back. If you are group leader on your side, just raise up your hand, and then we'll go ahead and hear what you guys had to speak about in your groups. So we have John for one group. I want to see the others also. We have Brian Kim, the second one. Who else? As we are waiting for others to come, so we can have Brian Kim start, and then after him, we can have you, John.
Thank you. So I was in room 4 together with Freddie. We got to know each other, know our experience using the Microsoft Workspace, and we came up with a name. Our name of our circle was Power Shuttle. So Power, because of Power BI, we both are most conversant with Power BI, and it was our very first when we interacted with the Microsoft Workspace. I think Power BI was the first, so that's why we chose that name.
Okay. That's interesting on your side, and good for connecting in those rooms there.
Okay, thank you.
next we'll have you, John, and we hope that for you, Brian, and you can continue just networking after this, just to share information and everything and knowledge. Yeah, sure. Now we get back to you, John.
Okay. Thank you. My name is John Chalo. So we're in a group with five of us: Brivian, Mutuma, then Sami. So the common thing, I'll start with the Matatu Sacco name, Fabric Transit. Fabric, of course, because of fabric, then transit to bring the Matatu ladder, I guess. Then for the common thing about the group is at least quite a number of us appreciate running. So we got guys who are doing or 18, 21 kms in Mutuma and Sami. And there's at least me who can do 5. Yeah. So running was it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, John. So I don't know if there is any other person from any group. Oh yeah, Nelson.
Yeah, so for group tulikuwa na Bradley na Effie na Wilmark. So I think 3 of us tumeinteract na Fabric. Me personally not very extensively, though nimetumia Power BI extensively. Fabric yenyewe not extensively cause nilikuwa natoka hiyo place ndo walikuwa wana buy license. Yeah, so for the matatu tulikama up na Gen 2 Sacco. So from the Gen 2 workflows, that's the Fabric. So that was the name, Gen 2 Sacco.
Okay. That's an interesting name there. So if we have nobody else, we'll now go to our next session. And for this one, we'll just want to look at a real case example of what Microsoft Fabric can do. So I'll not talk much about it. I'll just let Martin Wambui come in, and he'll take us through a real world example of a Microsoft Fabric solution. So welcome, Martin.
Thank you. I think we are all having good time. And before I even with you guys.
So let's give Martin a few minutes to be back. So as we are waiting for him, if you've built Microsoft Fabric solution or you have tried something with it, I think I can give a few people chances to tell us what they have tried building and how was the experience for them. So you can just raise up your hand and tell us what you've built or what was your experience with Fabric. I'll pick on Martin Muchuki. I know you have done something with Fabric. Tell us what was your experience. We can't hear you, Martin.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Martin Michuki. I'm a data engineer. I've worked with Fabric. So I've used Fabric for different stuff. Majorly the notebooks within Fabric and the Power BI pieces. So those are the two things that I'd say I've done or I've worked with mostly. Notebooks for notebooks because they give me the programming side of it. I can run code, I can do all those stuff on notebooks. And then Power BI, just because I can't avoid it for the visual piece. But my favorite is it's the notebooks, the programming pieces. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Martin. I'll also pick on before we get back to you, Martin. I know Edgar has worked on Fabric, and we have just seen how AI is coming into Fabric. So, Edgar, you can tell us a bit about your experience with AI in Microsoft Fabric.
Yeah. So on my part, I've interacted with the data agents. So what I can say about data agent is it helps you chat with your data, like you get to know what's happening behind your data. You get to know, you can literally ask question, then the data agent will go ahead and write the SQL queries, yeah. So the data agents has been the best feature in Fabric, and that's what I've used the most.
Thank you, Edgar. We'll have Pius go last before we switch back to Martin Wambui.
So I think I've mostly interacted with in probably all aspects of the Fabric tools. So excluding the newer AI tools. So just ideally, for the simple workflow, just write the notebooks, get the data, store it in the lakehouse, and then now move it to the warehouse, and then now try to build some reports, and then further on with the new additions of AI, add on now the the AI layer to it, and then get to what I appreciated was the understanding of the end-to-end data workflows. I've also tried to work with Event Stream and Event House. Yeah, quite extensively. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting to hear from you, Pius, that you have actually worked on quite a number of the Fabric ecosystem, and so yeah, that just shows how valuable or how valuable experience we have in the community. And so progressively we are looking to having those of you who have worked in Microsoft Fabric just coming here to share your experiences, what you've built, and just to encourage the rest of us that these things are possible and we can share knowledge and share resources together. So that's interesting from your views. And now I'll switch it over to Martin, who will take us through a use case example, and then we will be back. So over to you, Martin.
Thank you. I was using solar as my power source, and then the sun disappeared. So now I'm back. So I think we've had quite a good interaction today, and the good thing is we are all learning together. And remember, I asked a question there when I was introducing myself, and I just want a quick answer for someone maybe who thought about it. What do you think, like, Microsoft were trying to solve when they came up with Microsoft Fabric? Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, what I think is that what they were trying to do was solve the I'll say it's a problem of combining many tools to achieve the common goal of now getting your data and trying then to make sense of it and help inform decisions and all that. Because if if any one of you has to, build, let's say, data engineering, it's a process. You get the data, you move across now, all the way to reporting and all that. You probably you face these issues, versions, I don't know what. But now, if you come and see what Fabric tries to do is now try to unify every probably aspect of data, data science, data engineering, then the reporting part. Now try to unify it and get you to build your solutions without the issues that have been there before.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Martin.
Yes, to add on to what Pius has said, I'd say part of the problem being solved is convenience. For example, just like Pius has said, we can all work within Fabric and we have access to all the tools. We have one lake powering all of us. We have notebooks, we have data flows, we have pipelines. Basically, everything is within that ecosystem. So it gives me the convenience of getting everything I want from that one platform.
You people, you have even more better answers than I have. So my answers are with you. So that's the truth. And all I can say, even in this data industry, if you are a data engineer, if you are a data analyst, you're a data scientist, or whatever, if you are doing the data governance or data management, if you don't know what you're solving, whether you have a great tool at your fingertips, whether you have maybe AWS to store your data, you have Azure, you have all the data bricks, you have Snowflake. If you don't know what you're solving, then it is very difficult for you to even help your business using the tools in order that they can see value for you as a uh, data professional. So as we use these tools, let's always see what you're trying to solve, because you can have a great tool, but it's not helping your business. Maybe your business doesn't need even the whole Microsoft Fabric. It just need an Excel sheet. I'm just trying to say. And with that Excel sheet, you can solve the problem they're having. So sometimes it's not even about the tool. It's about you understanding the problem that your business is going through, and you use the right tools to solve that problem. Because I think nowadays, because the data professionals is becoming like it's hyped. So people are learning everything. You learn Snowflake, you learn everything. You can name it. There are a lot of tools that are outside there. So now when you go to present yourself, you say, I know Fabric, I know Snowflake, I can do things with SQL, I can do things with AWS, Databricks, all those. But can you solve a problem that a business is going through? If you know all those tools and you cannot solve that problem, then you're not helping them. So yes, let's continue learning tools, and we cannot learn everything, but the tools that you have confidence with, make sure that you can solve a problem with it. So today we are not going to do a lot of technical things, but I can show you one of the simple. Kumanis introduced us to what was introduced in Build, recent things that were added in the system, in the ecosystem of Fabric. But where do we start? Because we have to start somewhere. So when you have Fabric, number one, you have to have data. So you have to ingest data. And how do we do it? So this, my workspace here is called Sales Analytics. And when I click that, you can see this one, we do allege this one so that in sequence, so that you can see how the flow is going, so that even if another person comes and wants to see you what you've built, it's easy for them to track. So if I click, for instance, data ingestion, you can see I have this is a data flow that ingest SharePoint data from for customers. And I have a pipeline, which is a copy job activity that ingest API sales target. And then we have a pipeline that ingest S3. S3 is a bucket from AWS. So it gets the data from AWS and then bring it to Bronze. And also we have another pipeline which brings data from the SQL. And you can click different ingestion method, as I've said. So for example, this one, you can see it's from a REST API to the Lakehouse. This is from Amazon S3 and to Lakehouse. And this one is from SQL Server to Lakehouse. So as I had said, this is the problem that we had like trying to solve. You have your data sources scattered everywhere and you want to bring them together so that you can build the solutions. And in Fabric, there's a concept called medallion architecture. Like when you're ingesting data, there before, those who are used to, I think I got introduced to Power BI like maybe 5 years ago or 6, I'm not sure. But before that, we used to do what we call you you extract the data and then you transform and load. So it's called ETL. That is the famous pipeline for ingesting the data. But nowadays with the modern tools, we do what we call ELT, where you extract, load and transform. So you extract your data, you bring them to a certain layer, for instance, the bronze layer. For instance, this is a lake house that only store the raw data. So after that, you do some transformation so that you can take your data to another layer that now has the clean data. And the ELT is good because let's say you missed something that you wanted to add to your new data. So you just go to your initial process and just because you have your initial data and the raw data. But there before, you used to transform and then bring data to Power BI. So even if you missed something in your initial process, you would just go back and restructure the whole model. But nowadays, like you can be able to access your raw data the way it is, and then your initial transformation, you have the initial transformation. In this case, you can do your transformation in 2 ways. You can use a data flow. I think one of the group they said they are called Gen 2. It's I can open mine here. You can use a data flow to transform your data to another lakehouse, and also you can use those who are good with code. You can use what do you call it, notebook. And after all that, it's become easier for you to track where maybe something happened. Maybe you're missing a certain customer. You can go back and track because your transformation and your process is going through. So for each, for example, if I click on customer, you can see on my right hand, we have all those processes that has been done. All these are just data cleaning process to make sure that your data is moving on well. And as I said before, the best thing is to understand what you are solving, because even in your data cleaning process, you have to understand what do you want at the end. So if there are columns that you don't need at the end, so you remove them so that you don't want to store data and maybe you are charged for the space and you don't want those columns. So you drop them that you don't need. If they are data you don't need, you drop them. And then the good thing now here, you can add a data destination. For instance, if you click here, you can see if I remove this, I just remove my data destination, but you can add a data destination to your lakehouse that will ingest all these tables at once. So in data, the good thing with data flow, you can use one data flow to do all your cleaning process, and then you load data to your target lakehouse. And let me just go back. And that's how you go. You are almost now towards what Kimanis was saying, towards your data being ready for AI. Because if you have data that is not clean, your AI will also give you wanasemanga itakupea njamba, like whatever, but it won't give you what you want. So for us is make sure that you're cleaning your data, you understand what your business need, and by the time you're getting to your final layer, your data will be clean. So you can see all these processes. There was no golden layer for this case, but on the data visualizations, we have now the Power BI report, and we have like some application that we were saying. This one is incomplete. And then we have the semantic model. This one is like the engine of the reporting. So you'll come and connect all your data the way they are related. If you have a date table, you connect to sales, you connect to all those, you connect them. Now your report will read from here. And the good thing with the semantic model, you can even auto-create your report, but auto-creating report doesn't feel nice. You have to create by yourself so that you can answer the question that you are needed to answer for the business. And with all that, after you create all these, that's where we come and create the data agent. And for this workspace, we didn't have a data agent, but I have a data agent in another workspace here called Picart. Remember, if you want a data agent, you have to have a paid fabric. So for instance, this is a data agent that connected to, this is also a sales platform that connects sales from Amazon, from Shopify, and then it has some few things like inventory. So you connect your data to that model. This is a semantic model, and then you can ask questions. For instance, I can ask let me see. I don't know what even to ask. What's happening in my stocks? So that's how and there is some few things. Sometimes AI doesn't understand your business. So that's why you see in the agent, we like have the agent instructions. You can add more instructions, and you make your data ready for AI because the agent doesn't understand. And you are the one who is going to educate your AI so that it understands your data and can be able to answer your data in the right way. So here, I think, let me see what's saying. So here it's what's happening with your stock. Most products are showing like a gradual decrease in stock with modest changes on hard quantity. This is typical for, okay. I don't think overstock opportunities. Some items like outdoor recliner, chair, all these have high stock levels and a slow, steady decrease in quantity. So balanced. So you can see if you ask something, the good thing with this agent, they can advise you on what to do. So if your stock is, for example, they're telling me my stock is cool, I don't have to add anything. So if you are struggling with all these problems, if for instance your business has a problem of the stocks, like you get it ends with a surprise, the customer asking products and you don't have, there's something they said, it's called operational agent. Operational agent, now you can tell an operational agent, if my stock decreased to a certain level, then you send me an email, alert me, and tell me what's happening. So with that, with all these additions, it starts with your a clean data that will help you to make sure that your AI can work perfect. And with that, I think we can learn how to make sure that our data is good and also is secure. So for that, we shall continue interacting more. And for those people who are even having the experience on Fabric, we are welcoming to join the Kenya Fabric community. And then when we have event, you can come in. Also, we can give you a chance to present, so you can even grow you as a person on even how to present and to three. So we shall continue planning for event. If you, for instance, you are good with certain thing, then you can come and present to us. One more last thing before I close. What happens after you have now the system? There's something called you schedule your, for example, your ingestions. And for example, if I come to this data flow here, and then I click schedule, you can add a schedule. So how often will you want your ingestion to run? So you can schedule these ones individually. But there's a more interesting way to do this using a pipeline where you can create a flow. For example, after ingestion, do data cleaning and all those processes. Let me see whether I'll I'll see that pipeline. I don't see it. It's no problem. I think it's here. Let me check. So now you can see this is a pipeline, and this is another powerful thing in the history of Microsoft ecosystem. This one was it's called the before that it was, what were we calling it? I've forgotten the name before they came to Fabric. So these ones are pipelines that can help you to make your work easy. For example, you can see this is sales ingestions. So once the sales ingestion complete, then ingest the returns. Once the returns are complete, ingest the customers. And once the customer are complete, you can ingest the product. And once the product are complete, you can now learn the transform the data to silver. And then the add thing, you refresh the semantic model. So this is a powerful thing, because if, for instance, you want to add, what about if it fails? So if it fails, you can come and add like an activity. For example, you can look for like, this is a email notification. So you say if it fails, you can send a notification here. So you'll come and configure your notifications, and then if this job's activity fails, then you can be notified. And there are other things you can even do at Teams messages, Microsoft Teams, and also. So with all this, I think this is a powerful, and I think we shall host an event to explain more on pipeline activities, because it's a powerful tool that you can do magic with it. And with that, your flows will always be running in a sequence, and also you can be notified if something is not happening the way you expect. So I think I'll add my presentation there, because also time is not with us, and we can continue with the small part that is remaining to conclude. Thank you for attending. I hope you've learned something.
Thank you so much, Martin, for that great showcase on how we can be able to actually build a real world scenario or a real world use case. So that just shows us that we have the capabilities, we have the knowledge and the skills to build these products. We just need to continue building on our skills, learning. And of course, now that we have the community, it's important that we also take time to share all this knowledge within the community, and that's something that actually we'll be doing. So we'll be inviting some of you here to showcase your products, to share your knowledge with us. If you have something interesting for the community, we'll also be inviting you to just come through and be able to share that with all of us. So at this point in time, I don't want us to take much more time. It's now time where so for Nelman is asking if we have a WhatsApp for the community, and we will be creating one, and then we'll be sharing that with each and everyone for you to be able to join. So that is in the pipeline. And so let's talk a little bit about the exam vouchers. And so it's important for us to understand what certifications we have when we talk about Microsoft Fabric. So we majorly have the DP 600 exam, so that's the Fabric Analytics Engineer. We have the DP 700, that's the Fabric Data Engineer Associate, and then we have the DP 800, that's the SQL AI Developer. So question is, which exam should you do? Because many of us identify themselves as data engineers, others as AI engineers. So to make it simple, so for DP 600, if you are mainly looking at the Power BI side of things, so that's your exam. If you are more into the pipelines, data ingestion, transformation, and delivering the data, then the DP 700 is the exam for you. If you are mainly into SQL, AI, and the database administration stuff, so that's the DP 800 exam for you. So based on what you want to work more on, you can start with one of those exams. If you feel you can do all of them, then that's also encouraged as well. So for our vouchers today, so we are pleased as the Kenya Microsoft Fabric community to be able to provide those vouchers to you, and the process here is very simple. So you have to request, unfortunately, you have to request the voucher on your end, so that will come to your account. So you will go to this link here and then sign in into the Microsoft Fabric community. You will select the exam you want to do based on how you want to do for yourself, and then the vouchers will be sent to you. So I'll have the screen up for a few minutes just to have you get all this information. And in case you have any inquiries concerning these exams, whether you need some bit of guidance, you can always reach out to us, and we've done these exams, and so we'll be able to guide you on how best to prepare or what you need to do. So I'll leave this one up for a moment. So if you need to take a screenshot of it, if you need to take a photo of it, please do so for the next few seconds before I move. And if you miss it, you can always come back and say, hey, I missed, so we can be able to share. I hope we are good on that. And also we have exclusive offers for other examinations as well. So for this one is the PL 300 and the DP 900. So for these ones, you can get a 50% discount. So if you feel these are the exams for you, so you can go ahead and then use this screen to go through the link and then get those vouchers. And finally, there is the data days 2026, and so that's ongoing actually until the 7th of August. So there you can be able to get the vouchers as well. You can get study groups, resources, community connections, so you can be able to get to learn, get resources for you to be able to build your skills in Microsoft Fabric, and all those sorts of things. So those are mainly what we have for you today. We hope and we believe that you will go get those certifications, do those exams, because it's really important for you to get certified, especially early enough when Microsoft Fabric is still something that's hot on the market. So and then now after that, we have come to the end of our session. I want to take this time to thank each and every one of you for taking time to attend this event today. We don't take it for granted, and we welcome each and every one of you for to the community. We will be sharing more about future events that we'll be having, and as we've said, we'll like to have more of you actually participate, share the knowledge that you have, be able to connect with each other in the community, because we are here to share the opportunities, we are here to share the knowledge, we are here to connect, we are here to learn and build together. So we look forward to having you in our next events. If you have not followed us on our socials, please go ahead to LinkedIn and search for the Kenya Microsoft Fabric community. Follow us there as well. Special thanks to Martin Wambui also, who has taken time to work on the community. He spent so much time to build a solution just to showcase it to you. So a lot of thanks to him for that. Thank you, everyone, and see you on the next one. And I think I can give Martin a few minutes to make some closing remarks.
Okay, just saying thank you for attending. I think we shall be meeting more on the community. Mostly we are active on LinkedIn. So if you're not, you can go follow our page. And as the suggestion have just come up, we shall create a WhatsApp community so that we can engage more.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Enjoy your lunch. I believe for those who won, they have already received their lunch, and if you have not, just reach out to me. I will do the necessary. Thank you.
You are allowed to post this event on LinkedIn. You can tag us at the Kenya Microsoft Fabric community. Yeah, you can spread the news.